Okay, guys, so it looks like we have some unfortunate news to talk about. At least it looks that way. It's not guaranteed at this point, but it looks like the CryptoZoo class action lawsuit against Logan Paul is not going so well, and the judge has actually recommended that the case be thrown out. Now, it's not over just yet because the judge said, they can amend the case and, we'll take another look at it. But as of right now, things aren't looking too well for the case against him. Now, this isn't the Logan Paul case against CoffeeZilla where he sued him. This is the class action lawsuit where another YouTuber, Attorney Tom, allowed a bunch of people to join the lawsuit against Logan Paul who invested in CryptoZoo and lost money. And it doesn't look good. So I was on the CoffeeZilla subreddit. Someone posted this post apparently this is one of the lawyers of Logan Paul. Logan Paul has many lawyers. So I went over to LinkedIn to confirm that it's real, and sure enough, it is. So let's go over it. This is from Jeffrey Neiman, and it says, "The hardest part of being a lawyer is witnessing firsthand how an investigation or lawsuit impacts a client. It can devastate them, leading them to question everything. As their lawyer, you're tasked with steadying the ship. You're the confidant, the voice of reason, guiding them out of darkness and assuring them brighter days lie ahead." Personally, I just got to say, I really dislike these posts on LinkedIn. They're really stupid. But anyway, it's not easy, but when your client is vindicated, there's no better feeling. I've fought for and achieved guilty and not guilty verdicts. I've exposed billions of dollars in fraud for whistleblowers and recovered billions for the government as a prosecutor. But telling Logan Paul, 30 minutes after his fairy tale wedding, that a magistrate judge recommended a complete dismissal of a class action lawsuit we've been fighting for over a year was an unforgettable moment. The order came down as he was walking down the aisle. It felt like it was meant to be. We still have plenty of work to do, but we should always pause, step back, and savor these moments. I'm going to cherish this one. So obviously that's, I guess he went to the wedding of Logan Paul. I don't know why you would invite, I don't know why you invite your lawyer to your wedding. I don't know, kind of a weird thing to do there. But yeah, a bunch of people are congratulating him in the comments. Really, I hate LinkedIn. I got to be honest with you, one of the dumbest platforms out there. Anyway, I went over to this article I found talking about this. The actual case is very long and it's boring, so we're not going to look at that. But we're actually going to look at this article where they go into more depth about the Texas judge backs Logan Paul's bid to escape CryptoZoo lawsuit. So he goes, a judge said Logan Paul's bid to toss a suit over the collapse of CryptoZoo should be allowed, but the class action group should also get a chance to update its claim. So it's not over yet, but as you'll see in this article, the judge kind of rips apart, I believe it's Attorney Tom, another YouTuber who is in control of this lawsuit. Basically, he says there's a lot of he says that the actual case that they has was not written very well. So it says, YouTuber Logan Paul's bid to dismiss a proposed class action over his defunct NFT project, CryptoZoo, should be allowed, Texas judge said. Magistrate Judge Ronald Griffin advised in Austin federal court on Thursday that the class group has not sufficiently tied Paul to their claims that they lost money by buying into the CryptoZoo project. I guess Judge Ronald should have watched the CoffeeZilla 3-part series. I guess he didn't watch that. The recommendation could see a federal judge drop the suit unless the class group updates it. The group is made up of CryptoZoo buyers who first sued Paul and others allegedly tied to the project in February 2023, alleging it was a rug pull that promised perks which never materialized. Still, Griffin said the group should be allowed to amend all but one of its 27 claims against Paul. A claim alleging Paul committed commodity pool fraud should be permanently dismissed, the judge said. Judge Griffin said in his 75-page report that his recommendation to dismiss the lawsuit's commodity pool fraud claim came as the court does not follow plaintiff's logic. The class group argued that CryptoZoo NFTs were an option contract as they started as eggs that hatch into animals, which then can be bred with others to create hybrid animals that could be traded. So it goes on to say, so this is from the actual lawsuit. It says, in other words, because purchasers buy CZ NFTs unaware of their value until they hatch, and because the CZ NFT animals can be bred with others to create hybrid NFTs, an option contract is thereby formed, Judge Griffin wrote. The mental gymnastics required to come to this conclusion are truly dizzying. That's from the that's from the actual judge himself. So obviously, he's not liking what this lawsuit is saying. Plaintiffs do not explain, nor can the court understand, how their purchases of CZ NFTs create option contracts or contracts for future delivery. Now, one thing I want to say about this is, I don't know that this, I don't know how old this judge is, but particularly a lot of judges are quite old. I don't know that they fully understand NFTs and cryptocurrencies, so it can be kind of hard to explain that to, like a 65-year-old judge or something like that. Maybe that's some of the reason why he doesn't understand the contract, or maybe understand the lawsuit, or maybe it just was really written very poorly. I really don't know. Other claims failed to tie in Paul. Judge Griffin said that the lawsuit failed to properly connect Paul to the 26 other claims made against him, saying they hadn't yet shown evidence that he directly and personally benefited from CryptoZoo's collapse. The lawsuit brought claims of fraud, unjust enrichment, negligence, breach of contract, fraud, conspiracy, aiding and abetting fraud, and breaches of consumer law in multiple states, among others. Now, one thing I want to say about that, obviously it's been a long time since I watched that 3-part series by CoffeeZilla, but I believe CoffeeZilla said in the video that Logan Paul, the CryptoZoo tokens that Logan Paul owned, I don't believe that Logan Paul sold. So if you can't prove that Logan Paul sold his tokens, that would be kind of hard to claim what they're saying, that he directly and personally benefited from CryptoZoo's collapse. Again, it's been a long time since I watched those videos, so maybe I could be wrong on that. Judge Griffin said in some cases that the complaint gave only fragments of facts accompanied by vague attributions of conduct to defendants, or looked to jam together two pieces of different puzzles in the vain hope of producing a final cohesive product. Ouch. This judge is burning this lawsuit. Not good, guys. Not good. The judge added, unfortunately, the case law does not support this tactic. Paul refunded CryptoZoo. Yeah. So that's basically the whole article right there. Obviously, the judge is not happy with the lawsuit. Again, I don't know if he's just old and doesn't really understand cryptocurrency, or if the lawsuit was just very poorly written. I really don't know. But as of right now, it looks like the entire CryptoZoo lawsuit could be thrown out. Now, like I said right at the start, the judge is giving them, the chance to update its claims. So it's not thrown out right now, but they're obviously going to need to make significant changes if they want this lawsuit to continue forward against Logan Paul. So it's not looking good for the CryptoZoo lawsuit. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Also, one thing I want to say before I go. If this lawsuit gets thrown out, it would probably be really bad for CoffeeZilla in his defamation case against Logan Paul. That's just my opinion. I'm not a judge or anything. But if the lawsuit, these people, they sued him, class action lawsuit, we're suing Logan Paul, he scammed us all, the judge throws this out, like what was obviously the judge in the other case, in the CoffeeZilla lawsuit, is going to be like, well, what were your videos about then? If there was no actual, if this lawsuit, this class action lawsuit was dismissed, clearly there was nothing weird going on there, right? That's just how I see it. I could be completely wrong, but it could be bad for CoffeeZilla's case. But let me know in the comments below what you think.